Josie, there's so many different kinds of bedding. How do I know which ones to use for guinea pigs? Fuzzy, it can be a bit overwhelming, especially for new owners. There's a lot to choose from. Today, I'll help Pigmum break it down to help everyone make an informed decision of what works best for you and your piggies.
Welcome to Dean Savvy Cavies. Last week you may have remembered that I went over some things never to use in your guinea pig's cages. Well, this week we're going to go over what you can use in your guinea pig's cages, the bedding specifically. I'll tell you a little secret about it towards the end of the video, so keep watching. There are basically 3 types of bedding that you should only consider for your guinea pigs. You may have seen other things used in the guinea pig cages. Those are things you should avoid. I'll list them here. The first one is cedar. Never use that because it has oils, phenols, that are very toxic to your guinea pig. It's harmful for their lungs, their respiratory system. Just don't use it. Another bad one is corn cob. Guinea pigs love to eat corn cobs, and unfortunately if you use it in their bedding, what happens is that they'll pee on the corn cobs, it'll expand, it'll smell, it just doesn't really soak up the urine very well, and they'll eat the corn cob and then it'll expand in their tummies, and that will cause death if you don't catch it in time. It's just very dangerous for them. Oh, also corn cob molds, you don't want to do that. Another bad one is straw. It just doesn't soak up the urine, it smells, the ammonia build up, which is toxic for your guinea pigs. It can also mold, and if you're like me, if you're sensitive to mold, you just don't want that. Imagine what it's like for them. They have so much stronger senses than we do, and it's just really harmful for their respiratory system as well. Sawdust. That has fine particles, so your guinea pig is breathing it in, it damages their respiratory tract, it's just harmful to their lungs. They'll eat it, it'll expand in their belly, it's messy, it smells, it doesn't absorb the urine well, it sticks to the bottom of the cage, so you have to like scrape it out. You know that clumping cat litter, if you have cats, and it gets stuck to the bottom of the litter box, you'll have that, and then the guinea pig's walking on it. You just don't want to go there. It's just dangerous. Don't use it. Another one I've seen used to use shredded newspaper for their cats. But for guinea pigs, it doesn't work so well because it molds. It doesn't absorb the urine. A lot of the newsprint used in newspapers also is harmful to the guinea pigs. It's toxic. So just don't even go there. It's just messy. You don't want to do that. Let's go over the ones that you can use. Wood, that's very popular. A lot of people use the pine shavings, which is great. If you use those, please only use the kiln-dried pine. There are many out there, many brands out there that advertise that they're kiln-dried, but they're not done very well. So you want to make sure the one that you're getting is good quality. You want to smell it to make sure it doesn't smell like pine, because again, pine has natural aromatic oils, those phenols, which is harmful to the guinea pig's respiratory system. It's toxic. So you want to make sure it's kiln dried to get the most of those out of the pine itself. So yeah, pine, how do you use it? Well, you just sprinkle good 2-3 inches on the bottom of your cage. And then you would, I've seen it done, Scotty's Animals does this. He presses it down and then he mists it with a fine mist. And that works great for him, you know. The guinea pigs seem to like it. So that's a choice. You can try the kiln-dried pine if you want. Another one on the market, which I don't recommend, but people use it, is the wood pellets. Again, you want to make sure that they don't have 2 things. The wood pellets that you buy for the wood stoves, don't use those. They have something called accelerants in them, which is toxic chemicals to help them burn. Now, if it's going to help something burn, it's probably not good to breathe in. And remember, guinea pigs have very sensitive senses and respiratory systems, much more than ours, and it'll kill them. It's toxic for them. Oh my gosh, can you see Josie's beautiful little swooted butt? I just love it. So yeah, if you're going to use the pellets, make sure they're 100% wood, made for guinea pigs. The drawback for the pellets is that they're hard. It creates an uneven, sharp kind of surface for their little feet. If you have an old guinea pig with mobility issues that's arthritic, it's not good because they're struggling to walk over it. It can cut their feet. They can get bumblefoot. Can you imagine being a guinea pig and having to deal with that? I wouldn't like that. So just maybe you're better off not using that. The third thing that you can try is paper. This shredded paper made especially for guinea pigs. It's a little bit different than newspaper because it's natural wood pulp without any like inks or chemicals on it. And it's very popular. In the US, I've seen the Carefresh brand in pet stores. That's good, I've used it, it's okay. What's nice about it is that it does not clump and it absorbs urine pretty well. Gee, you're making a lot of fuss. Your guinea pigs might like to burrow in it too, kind of like hamsters do. One thing I don't like about the paper is that it can be a bit of a bumpy surface. So if your guinea pig again is old, has arthritis, they might struggle to walk on it a little bit. But it is soft on their feet and that's okay. Another thing is that you can't see the poo and the pee. So if they're sick, you don't know there's something wrong. Because remember, guinea pigs hide their illness very well, and oftentimes the only way we can tell is if they have something wrong with their urine or their poop. Like the pine, the paper is easy to take care of. Both pine and the paper, you change once a week. You take it all out. You clean the bottom of the cage with maybe something like a vinegar and water solution. Is easy to use. And then when it's dry, you put the new paper or kiln dried pine inside the cage and press it down a little bit, and then your guinea pig is happy. Fourth bedding to choose from, which is widely popular, is the fleece, the anti-pill fleece. You may have seen that too. I use it in my cages. I swear by it. It's so much easier than the paper or the shavings because I have dust allergies, and it's just to clean stuff, take stuff out and clean it. It's just, with dust particles, it just makes me sneeze and I can't deal with that. So I use the fleece. I find that the easiest. What you do is you have your cage and then you put it in the bottom like you would like a blanket layer, right? So I have a video about how to use fleece. You might want to check that out. So you lay this down on the bottom of your cage, and then you can use it for 2 or 3 days, and then when it gets a little damp, you flip it over. Now, how does that work? What it is that inside the fleece, there's 2 layers usually. Some people only do 1, but I use 2 layers of that moving blanket material sewn in, and it helps absorb the pee. With the liner, it soaks into the fleece and then it's dry on the top, and then when it gets soiled, sometimes you'll see a little stain where you can tell where they've peed. It gets a little darker, and then you flip it over and it's dry on the other side. You use that for a couple of days, and then when that's soiled, you put it in the washing machine. You would wash it like you would like a towel, right? So put it in the washing machine, put it in the dryer, ready to use again. And the cool thing about fleece too is that you can layer it. I do this especially in a high traffic area, like where they eat, because they're eating and pooping and peeing a lot in that area. So you put the base layer down and you put another layer on top to help soak up the extra urine, and then when it's soiled, you put it in the wash, and then underneath is dry. So I change my fleece, the base layer, once a week, and I change out these every couple of days as needed. It's very simple. The fun thing also about fleece is that there is a cornucopia of different patterns that you can get in the fleece. And that makes it fun because then you can do the themed cages of a whole pattern, and it just makes guinea pig keeping much more fun. I'm not sure the guinea pigs even care or know. They do see in color, so maybe they appreciate it, but I think we do it mostly for us because it's pretty. And we want our guinea pigs to feel pretty. Right, Josie? Oh, baby. Look at that little spluted butt. It's so cute. Oh my goodness. I just love you. So those are the things that you can use in your guinea pig cage. Now, like I said, there's a secret to this. How do you know which one to use? The secret is trial and error. Which one are you attracted to the most? You start with that first, see if it works, try it for a week. If it works, great. If it doesn't, then try something else. Try maybe the paper or the wood shavings instead, or the fleece, until you find something that works for your lifestyle, for your schedule, but most importantly, what works best for your guinea pigs, what's best for their health. Because remember, we're doing everything for our guinea pigs to make sure they're happy, healthy, and have the best possible life. I'd love to hear from you what you used, what you've tried in the past, what has worked, what hasn't worked. And if there's anything I have left out, let me know. And I will have something fun in store for you next week. Thanks for watching.